Hello, it is 11:11 on the dot. Let's stop this share and see who's here. Hi, Lil. Hi, Michelle. See, who else is going to be popping in?
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. Hello. Welcome.
I'm in the process of moving, so I wanted to show up because I support Maurine and all you ladies. Actually, I just downloaded the your book on Kindle, so thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Susan. So good to have you here. Awesome. Welcome. We'll give people a few minutes to land and gather and connect, see about some of our other co-hosts arriving. Michelle, yes, one of my co-authors here. Lil, our publisher. So exciting to see everyone. I need some lip stuff. This is you're going to get the natural Anne here. That's what we do here in the Sacred Connection world. Yep. Got our coffees and our water. Make sure everybody stays hydrated. Awesome. Well, Lil, what do you think? Should we throw that video in? Yeah, okay. Let's go with this exciting moment. Okay, let's see here. Hey, Melinda, welcome. Here, whoops, not there. All right. You can do this. And there it is.
What are we looking at?
The beautiful video. Can you see it? Does everybody see
All
it or
I can
no?
see is
Oh,
managed
we're looking
post
at your-
collections drafts. That's all I can see.
okay. Well, then we'll fix that problem. Okay, so let's start this again. Thank you. All right. Let me start the screen share. Okay, I think we got it. Yes. No sound? And now there's no sound?
Not now. You've got it on mute.
Okay, well now it's stopped. But let's see, I hear it. Let's see now. Oh, well, this isn't super fun. Okay, hold on a second. So no
Nope.
sound?
Nothing.
All right, let's try this. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the world of technology and fun times, because that's all we can do is enjoy that, right? Acknowledging the reality of life. Okay, let's try this now. I feel like I can't. Why is this not working? Lil, do you have it handy?
No, but I can get it handy. Hold on, let me go find it.
Okay, I just made you co-host, but let me try this again. Volume?
No, you're not getting it.
I don't know why.
No
But you
idea.
can hear, everybody hears me, right?
Right.
Okay. All right, you hear me? Are you pulling it up?
Give me a second.
New share. Okay. How about this? Okay. So I'm going to I'm going to pause for a minute. Hello, welcome everyone. I'm going to bring it back into this now moment. This now moment is here. We launched here at 11:11 on 11:11. I welcome you all to joining this party. This is an opportunity for the co-authors of this amazing book to share their hearts. And now we're going to get to have the beautiful video with sound. Yes. I don't hear sound. Do you hear sound, Lil?
I do. You don't. I don't know
I
why.
don't. Nope.
Well, I'll watch the video anyway.
Hey, hey, Anne.
Hi, Tira. Welcome.
Hi, honey.
We are watching this video that doesn't have sound and we're working it out.
It's great. I'm loving it.
Awesome. Thank you, Lil.
You'll have to trust me. The music's beautiful.
The music is beautiful. You have to trust me too. Hello, Maurine, Brenda. We have some of our other authors here, and a couple of our authors aren't able to actually make it live today, but no fear, you will hear from them as well. We have a recording of them, and hopefully that will have sound. We're going to make sure that hopefully that's going to work out too. So I would like to begin with a deep breath. And I'm going to invite everybody to do the same. Maybe a stretch up in the air. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. And just bring all of your energy into this now moment, your awareness, your presence, your love. Yeah. This sacred connection community was birthed out of a desire for me to be more connected to myself and the divine. And everything that has occurred in the last year to get to this point where I have produced and curated this incredible anthology. The 7 chapters in here are heartwarming, they're transformational, they are vulnerable, they're authentic, and they are here to offer a gift to all of you when you take these words into your heart. I'd like to introduce Lil now. Lil, are you up for talking? You look busy in the moment. So
I was just spreading the word about the book over on Facebook, just letting people know.
Awesome. Yay. Spread the word.
Coming.
Spread the word, everybody. Come join us. Pop in, drop in. I am so grateful to have been introduced to Lil by a dear friend of mine who knew that I had already written a chapter in a book and that I was also curating this program and thought that we would be a really great fit. And instantaneously we were, and I've been thrilled along this entire journey to be supported by Lil and the Center of Influence community and all of the authors that are part of this experience. So Lil, I'd love to have you come in and say a few words too.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, this is always fun. This has been a lot of fun. We have 7 amazing chapters, 7 amazing women. The Sacred Connection group has come together to do this thing. And did a very clever thing of having them reflect the 7 chakras. So I think you'll find that really interesting. And you'll note that the video had a mandala kind of spinning over everyone's face. So that was pretty
There's a
neat.
story in that.
And there's always a story in everything. Yeah, and it really worked out. And everyone had their own, energetic chapter kind of concept that they went with, the theme. So they're beautiful chapters. We've obviously read them all today and today only. You can download a free copy of the ebook, and after that, they'll be available in print eventually in the next week or 2. So you can get a hard copy, a nice paperback that you can hold in your hand. A little bit about us. So my company, I own a couple of companies, but I'm the owner of Center of Influence Community, And you might note that in my little tagline there, I'm the CEO of GWN Publishing, which is the parent company for Center of Influence Community. So the staff of the GWN Publishing Group does all of the work to create the book itself, the artwork, the interior design, getting all the bells and whistles together, all the file uploads. And I'd love to shout out to the Chris's, Chris Squared, Christina Knatzer, and Christina Rodriguez, who we call Chris Rodriguez, so we don't confuse ourselves, because everyone apparently needs to be named something like Chris, so, including Kirsten, who is one of our editors. So that's who we are. We are a wonderful publishing company. I'm very proud of us. We've been around for about 8 years now. We publish every kind of book you could think of, from children's illustrated books onto these kinds of anthologies. And a couple of months back, but I guess about 7 or 8 or 9 months back, we started the idea with a couple of my partners that we would create something different in the way of anthologies, that it wouldn't be anthologies that were, many of you have been in some of these, maybe where there's 15, 20, even 40. One of them had 48 people in it. True story. They didn't write a very big chapter, needless to say. But a lot of people are in typical ones that run maybe 15 to 20 people, and they don't write a big chapter. And we wanted this to be different. We wanted the Center of Influence to be beyond putting together anthologies, but rather to create community. So to that end, no one book will have any more than 10 authors. Something as wonderful as repeating or reflecting the 7 chakras makes sense to have 7 authors. And each of the young ladies here has written anywhere from 5,000 to 7,000 or 8,000 words. And they have nice big chapters. And then those chapters become an ebook that they can utilize separately later on in the next couple of months before the end of the year. They'll have that to deal with. And we stay with each other. We're a community. So we've all met the Leading with Light people. That's Leading with Light Volume 1. It went out beautifully. And Leading with Light Volume 2 is filling up. So if you're a light leader and interested in that kind of thing, we'd love to have you. And we're working on some other concepts and other books across the next couple of months. So we'll have different themes thematically. And we love to have people involved in those things and then do fun stuff with us. For example, we have Anastasia Lipsky coming in next week, and she's going to talk about podcasting. I do a couple of workshops that everyone's invited to do. And our members are invited to give workshops and take workshops. So we're a community. It's not just be in a book and disappear and thanks for being in a book and be an Amazon bestseller and forget about it. It's a whole thing, if you will. And it's pretty much a big monster I've created. So I'm happy to be here today. I'm happy to have you guys out there. The book is pretty as hell. It's beautiful, beautiful inside and out. But from, again, the Christinas, Knatzer does the outside and Rodriguez the inside, and they look really great. So I hope you'll all download a copy. And please, 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 please spread the link. I believe Anne will probably put the direct link in the chat in case you haven't done that yet. By all means, go. We'll put it in a couple times during the day. Go and get the book. It's a free download. It costs you nothing to do it. Tell all of your friends. Tell everyone that this is a book that will really change your life. A book that will inspire and encourage you and your friends. So tell your girlfriends, tell your sisters, tell your mothers, tell your friends, tell your aunts and uncles and your brothers and sisters. Go and get the book. It's free.
Everybody.
Tell everybody. So go shout it from the mountain. So that's about it. Anything else? Anne, you have any questions for me or anything you want me to talk about or about the process?
No, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for creating the Center of Influence community that has provided the opportunity for me, this beautiful group of co-authors, and all of the authors that have been a part of your community and your publishing house. So thank you.
We love it.
Yay. So yes, I will be putting the link to the Amazon book in here in a minute. And I have 2 co-hosts that can also do that. Michele and Lil, maybe you can drop that into the chat. And I want to begin by sharing also that why we have 7 chapters. Sacred Connection began as a group of a 9-week webinar with each week. I begin the first week, and each week I have a co-host. And we have a theme over that 90 minutes, a theme that supports us in connecting to ourself and the divine. And when this idea of a book came along, I thought, brilliant, 9 chapters, just like the Sacred Connection webinar. But the divine had another plan. And that was that 6 beautiful authors said yes in this divine alignment at this divine timing in the perfect way. And what I mean by that is, as I was reflecting, reading through, as the producer, reading through everyone's chapters, and I was reflecting on the content, the themes that we had attached to them, their chapter titles. What came through with ease is, oh my goodness, we have 7 chapters that associate directly with each of the chakras in the body system. And I thought, what a brilliant way to birth this first, because I intend that there will be another Sacred Connection anthology, this first anthology with 7 amazing chapters. And it's been my absolute honor to support the 6 other women as we collectively put together these chapters that really express who we are and where we are on the planet at this time. And that leads me to share. Each one of us is going to have about an 11-minute time frame to share about our book and read a little bit from our chapter. So, and to talk a little bit about who we are. So I'm going to back up a little bit and explain who I am as Ann Jonas, the Lotus Path. I have been on a personal growth journey since I flew out of the womb and have not stopped. And everything I've ever done has been about figuring out what this life is, seeking, being curious. And I've never lived in a box, and I've always waved a crazy flag, and I'm a rainbow unicorn. And so this is who I am. And these are the people that I've been attracting into my world, because we mirror each other. That's the bottom line, people. We call in the people that we are. And I'm immensely grateful to be reflected into the powerful communities that I'm a part of. And so my journey to get to this point was a dark night of the soul. Like, wake up, girl. Where are you living in this life? You're 53 years old. What's next? And the divine came and said, you're going to come out as a spiritual person who says God and fuck in the same sentence, my friends, because nothing is irreverent. Everything is about humor and joy and love and presence and the now moment. And I have no fear anymore, although I was really nervous about today. I'm just going to say that, but I have no fear anymore about speaking my heart and my truth. And I invite everyone in my field to do the same. And so that's what this book is about, is speaking our truth and who I am, who I express in the world as a person who honors this life journey as really fucking hard, my friends. And this is what we get to move through. I have had some serious shit occur along my Lotus path, and everything I am grateful for. I am grateful for everything that has occurred in my life. And I'm grateful that I now see the synchronicities that tie in everything. I want to read from you a section of my chapter and share with you my heart, and then have you continue to listen in to all of the other wise words that will be shared today. The latest version of myself, whom I lovingly refer to as Ann Jonas 3.0, has been revealed through peeling away another deep layer and witnessing myself on the next timeline of the spiral of life. I have full clarity about what I am here to offer, as I have stepped into a sacred connection with myself and the divine. I am honored to share the stories of my life's experiences. In some cases, there will be only a mention, a snippet, just a drop of deep, intense color that will paint the picture of what I've navigated. As I offer this opportunity by providing a mirror, I invite you to witness where there are reflections for you and your journey. Foundationally, I exist with the awareness of 2 basic aspects and ways to be with what this life presents. There's a basic purpose and a basic truth. The basic purpose is to remember. We are here to remember why we came and understand that God is always present, It unravels and unfolds as we happen through the stories, the roller coaster rides that make up the amusement park of our lives. The basic truth is love. It is the foundation of all. Love is energy, and love is God. Love is everything. Here's the deal. Earth School is a third dimensional reality that is based on polarity, meaning we have night and day, good and bad, right and wrong, light and dark. You get the picture. The thing is, it's all important and relevant for the structure of this reality. It is what contains us. You know the movie The Matrix. Earth School is the place where we forget and then choose to find our way back and remember that we are a light being. We are here expressing God's self as me, the Ann Jonas, and you, your name. We are all God. And this is what the third dimensional reality offers us. A place to be expressed as God, experiencing the human form, the human experiences of sensation and feeling. We express ourselves as the stories and identities of our lives so that we might come into this knowing. The magic happens when we decide to see outside the box and really know God as the universe, love, and all that is. I know this through the life choices that I've made and the journey that has guided me to random conversations or in-depth programs, to relationships or experiences that move through my life and offer me the opportunities to satiate my spiritual seeking, to bring everything from glimpses and full downloads, upgrades, and opening. I am aware that it is always an energetic experience unfolding along the way. I will illuminate the places where I have come into clarity and made connections by sharing the stories of how I found my way as I wander through what I now know to be a divinely led life. That is chapter 1, my friends. Well, not all of it, but there's more to come. Okay, Lindsay Lee, are you here, love? If not, I am going to share my screen and pop her in here. So give me a minute. Anybody have a comment or a question while I do the share screening thingy? Okay, that's fine. I love it when we just take a moment to breathe. I'm all good with breaths and silent pauses. Okay, let's see here. Let's get you. There. Okay. Now let me come back to here and hopefully we're going to have sound. Do we have sound? Yeah.
My name is Lindsay Lee. Hello, my name is Lindsay Lee. I'm initially from Marlton, New Jersey. I spent 10 years in Sarasota, Florida, but now I'm living in the Austin, Texas area. I've been here for about 2 years. A professor track in teaching visual art and theater. And a series of life events happened that required my full attention. And so I quit, and I get to recreate a life that is more in alignment with my soul's purpose. I'm currently, I would say that I'm an embodiment coach, empowering women to reconnect with their bodies, facilitating how to create safety both with and for their bodies. I offer insight and intuitive perspective for deep connection and growth. I'm an artist and a mystic. I'm a dancer and a dreamer. I'm a healer and I'm healed. And I facilitate healing the inner child wound. Your power. I'm going to read a bit from my chapter, which is based on creation. It's called Grace on Fire. And I'm going to dive right into the middle of it. And the section is called The Kid That Stole God's Script. When the pandemic hit, I remember seeing a meme about how the little kid clearly stole God's script, and with a crown was writing. And then an invisible monster took away everybody's smell and taste. And then everyone got diarrhea and all the toilet paper disappeared from all the stores. I wasn't at my new location for more than 2 months when everything shut down because of COVID. I didn't know anyone and I wasn't near any family. I had only just bought a couch and I felt super proud that I was furnishing my new place and that I was doing it on my own. Suddenly my workload tripled, students were freaked out, and I somehow turned into everyone's counselor. A trend that tends to happen for female instructors. That was okay because I was totally alone and had all this free time, right? No. As the semester ended, I found a part-time gig at Lowe's Home Improvement and trusted that this would carry me through the summer until I started teaching again. Because an adjunct professor's salary is worse than a teacher's salary K through 12. I laugh about it now because you need a higher degree. Anyway, July of 2020, the day before my birthday, I was headed to a celebration dinner with a friend of a friend because I still really didn't have any new friends in my new location and wanted to celebrate my birthday with someone. I was in the left lane and the light ahead was green. Suddenly, this middle van in the center lane turned left, not far from me, into the shopping center, causing me to slow down. And I remember thinking, wow, that was close. Why didn't you just wait? And then out of seemingly nowhere, this SUV type vehicle pulls out from the same shopping center in front of me with the intention of turning left. I slammed on my brakes. There was absolutely no way I wasn't going to hit them. And this was the longest few seconds of my life. My brain said to my body, relax. No, I screamed in my head, relax. And apart from my foot still on the brakes, I dropped my body, exhaled, and did the best thing that I could. I did my best to do this thing, relax. And then nothing. When I came to, I thought my car was on fire. It was the smoke from all the airbags, and I was panicked. I was trying to get out my door. I looked up and I saw this crack in my windshield, and I was really confused about it. What just happened? Why do my teeth hurt? Where am I? I couldn't open my door. Why can't I open my door? My movements echoed the panic inside. The airbags from the door were blocking the way that I could get out, and so I climbed over to the passenger side, desperate to get out. A man who saw the whole thing crossed the street and told me to stay where I was. He grabbed my hand and I said to this man, "My name is Lindsay. Please don't leave me." He helped calm me down and he talked to the dispatcher, who suddenly was on my car speakers. And I remember thinking, thank you, technology. There's a lot of blurry spots from here on out. I remember being asked by the medics if I wanted to go to the ER, and my thought was, yeah, I don't have a ride home now. And then I actually distantly thought of Liam Neeson's wife, Natasha Richardson, who died from a head injury. I should probably get checked, I told them. When I got to the ER, I was adamant about asking for a concussion screening, and I remember feeling nauseous while getting an x-ray for my wrists that I was convinced were broken. And I remember a friend of a friend picking me up from the ER. I didn't know what went into a concussion screening. As far as I knew, I had never had one before, so I had no idea how long it would take to even recover. Turns out I wasn't given one. And it wasn't until my third return to a different ER that I was finally diagnosed with one. All the physicians that I went to said it takes a while. I was going to physical therapy thinking this is normal. I was trying to convince myself that everything that I was experiencing was normal. I was taking Ubers everywhere on my limited adjunct professor budget and trying to book appointments in close proximity to each other so I could walk from one location to another. I would Uber to physical therapy in the morning, walk across the street to a chiropractor who was conveniently located next to a Walmart, go grocery shopping, and then Uber home, all while navigating vertigo, memory loss, dizziness, trouble walking, trouble talking, numbness in most of my body, trouble focusing cognitively, trouble focusing with my eyesight, numbness and loss of function in my hands, to name a few symptoms. It wasn't until I saw a specialist back in Philly who told me, we're out of concussion territory now. We're in traumatic brain injury. There was something in me that just knew. I could sense my doctors at home frustrated that I wasn't getting better on their schedule, and no one thought it was more than just the initial diagnosis. They were quick to dismiss me, unwilling to help or even care. I mean, I knew not being near anyone who could help me keep tabs on my progress was an issue. But at this point, I was eating only with my hands for more than 4 months because I wasn't able to hold silverware. The brain fog I was experiencing was so thick, I don't know how I was still able to teach. Aside from studying art since I was 13, it was in my bones and second nature to me. Every ounce of my exhausted energy was focused on any conversation I was trying to have. Quite frankly, the thoughts weren't even solid enough to come down through my mouth for me to articulate what I wanted. I was saying only what I could say and not what I wanted to say. And 2 seconds into any conversation, I was forgetting what we were talking about. And then I got COVID from an Uber driver. How in the world did I not see that I was being redirected by God here? Remember earlier, I was hell-bent on becoming a professor. I was stubbornly determined and still lectured with a TBI and COVID. Insert strange facial expression here, no worries. I'm doing it for you. It wasn't until January 2021 that I started driving again. Still in physical therapy, we were doing everything to get me to the status of almost normal with basic life skill functions, like putting a key into a door, walking up the stairs without feeling like I needed to vomit, buttoning my shirt, following a moving target with my eyes. And when classes started back in person again, I was putting all of my effort into appearing normal. No one had any idea how much I was really suffering. No one had any idea how much effort I was devoting towards this, and I would crash whenever I would get home. Oh, and fun fact, in March, I realized my boyfriend at the time was actually not who he said he was. Another book, I assure you. Why is this random fact relevant? I sat in disbelief for 3 days straight at the shit show that was unfolding in my life. How in the world did I get here? I got up after day 3 and I hired a therapist. I've been through some stuff before, but this was out of my league of personal development. I needed help and I knew it. I told her about the meme I saw about the pandemic. I joked that the kid who stole my script was doped up on sugar, scribbling with a red crayon all over Lindsay's life with, and then her husband decided to be with a mutual student of theirs. And then she took care of her grandmother while processing this traumatic divorce, and then got into a car accident and got a traumatic brain injury, and then she got COVID, and then she found out that her boyfriend is lying to her about who he was, and then. I feel like taking the crayon away from this child, saying firmly, and now you're done with the crown. No more and then. At least I can joke about it, right? And that's what I did. I metaphorically took the crown away. I quit my job and I moved. There's so much more to this story, and it truly is a phoenix transition. My life, especially the last 5 years, but it's one of perseverance. And I'm so grateful that I have this opportunity to find my voice, to live within authenticity and integrity, and share it with you. It is absolutely my soul's purpose to create an environment where women feel empowered. and to facilitate them to create safety both with and for themselves while co-creating community. Thank you so much.
And that's a beautiful Lindsay Lee, chapter 2. And there she is. Oh, honey, I'm sorry. Did you, how long have you been here? Okay.
Only a few minutes. I'm so sorry. I'm between teaching classes, and I tried to get on here sooner. I'm so sorry I couldn't make it sooner, but there we go.
Well, you were here in divine timing. So I'm very happy you're here live, honey. Thank you. Thank you. That was beautiful. So we've moved through the root chakra and the sacral chakra, and now we are going into the solar plexus embodiment, and I'm going to swing over to beautiful Michele over there. Your turn, love.
Thank you, Anne. Welcome, everybody. It's so awesome to be here this morning. Lindsay, I'm catching my breath. Anne, you blew the shit up. Thank you for breaking the ice. Thank you for giving us permission to say God and fuck in the same sentence and not judge it. All right. If you're judging it, I invite you to maybe explore that a little bit deeper for yourself. So yes, I am Michele Leeper. I am so many things, and I hate putting a title on it. But, you know, if I had to sum it up, I feel like, well, I'm a badass, embodied alchemist, emotional alchemist. But the title that I put on as a professional person is that I am an author. This is my second publication this year. My first one was July 13th. So I became an instant bestseller this year. This is my second anthology with these wonderful women, some of whom are my close, dear soul sisters. And I'm a little bit nervous right now. I don't even know what happened. I started talking and I'm like, where are we going with this? So yes, let me back up. Titles. I am also an embodiment coach. You will see that there are a lot of synchronicities within the authors of this beautiful anthology. I'm an empowerment coach. I'm a mama. Today is my youngest son's 18th birthday. Yes, I am old enough to have a child that old. And my oldest is turning 26 in January. So I'm an author. I'm a mama. I'm a priestess. I'm an embodiment guide. I am a divine emotional alchemist. And I am a sister, friend, daughter, lover, and a human having, well, a spirit having this human experience in Earth School. So that's a little bit about me. I'm in Portland, Oregon. I've been with the Sacred Connection community that our beautiful Ann Jonas curated. I think it's been a little over a year now. Yeah, we've had about 5 rounds.
It started October 20th, 2022. Exactly.
Yeah, so we're just over the mark. So without further ado, my chapter is A Woman Reborn. My theme is embodiment, and I represent the solar plexus because I am all about the liberation, baby. I want women to feel free and not just in their conceptual zone, like I am a free person, but really pull it into the marrow of our bones and express it through our body. So I too have so many books in me, and here is a little bit from my story. I'm going to kind of pop around to what felt most relevant to me this morning as I was reviewing it. So it's taken me most of my adult life to change my relationship with myself and my body. I wanted to be as free, joyful, and uninhibited as I remember myself as a child. I could feel that my innocence was still alive within me, that my inner child longed for connection, love, and safety. This was reflected to me through witnessing the joy and wonderment of my own children. I started to become more curious about the internal dialogue I'd been carrying around with me for so many years. Whose voice was I listening to? Where was all the blame, judgment, and criticism coming from? I couldn't even imagine speaking that way to my children. How could I learn to parent my wounded inner child in a way that she needed, with encouragement, acceptance, and compassion? As an adult, I was still punishing myself with self-rejection, self-harming, numbing out, pretending to be someone I wasn't to fit in, out of fear of further harm, humiliation, or punishment. I often felt like I was a prisoner, mind, body, and spirit, until I woke one day to realize that I had become the jailer. And if I was the jailer, could I also be the liberator? I could see too where my intimacy and full presence were limited in my parenting with my partner because of my mind-body disconnect. It took me another 10 years after navigating an ugly divorce to truly realize that I am responsible for everything in my life, especially my own healing. I was broken open by the disappointment and heartache of ending my marriage, and it gifted me a metaphorical death to become a woman reborn. There is a lesson in everything if we are open to it. I was being invited into my own power. I came to learn how to use my inner fire to create, not destroy. To create, not destroy, through what felt like the biggest betrayal and rejection of my adult life. I violated the sanctity of that union in many ways. And mostly I betrayed myself by trying to change into someone I wasn't to be loved. To walk in this life with an open heart takes immense courage when there are enormous wounds around trust. Learning to trust ourselves after self-abandonment and trauma is a daily practice. I found that what I most desired was to be in sacred connection with myself, all of me, so that I could therefore be in sacred connection with all of the people in my life, as well as those yet to come. I honor that we are all spirits having a human experience here in Earth School. The return home. Divine discontent came howling in the night, knocking on my windows and rattling me from my slumber. I recognized her voice as my own, saying it was time to wake up from my 40-year-long nightmare of self-rejection and return home to my body to love and respect it as a holy temple. We've all heard the stories and watched the movies about female archetypes becoming the wicked witch villain or the superhero. The truth is that we are all a little bit of both at some point, some time or another. True healing is about integrating all parts of ourselves. We're not denying our shadow self in favor of the more acceptable, sunnier, higher vibe parts of ourselves. We get to create a different relationship with our darker side and give those aspects of ourselves a healthier way to self-express. Life is a series of choices. I made the decision to be my own hero and save myself. As Tony Robbins says, there is no fucking guru. We each have our own golden key to unlock the cage. I sought my own healing journey and evolution by exploring different things. And I will say that healing is not a linear process. I delved into my personal and spiritual ascension by exploring recovery programs, therapy, hypnosis, religion, spirituality, rituals, cleanses and fasting, energy healing, shadow work, shamanism, chakra healing, performance arts, art therapy, sound therapy, vision boards. Who hasn't done that? And then coaching workshops, leadership training, and finally, somatic dance embodiment. My deepest and most profound healing began when I discovered somatic dance embodiment. It's a natural and powerful way for the body to detoxify, release, let go, and heal from unprocessed emotions and trauma. I have a high propensity for answering the call to voyage into the unfamiliar. I trained as a method actor for more than 8 years and still continue to have a disconnection with my body. I felt this passion stirring to say hell yes to something I knew nothing about then. In a roundabout way, I hid myself by spending most of my time living in my mind, ego, and intellect. So I offer my personal experience and awakening, which resulted from me choosing to trust this process. My mission is to understand my experiences, transmute them, use them to fuel me to become an even better version of myself. My desire is to continue to cultivate sacred connection with my divine self and to carry the lantern for others seeking the path. We are here to remember we are all connected. We weave our memories and emotions together and connect the dots of all our parts that were lost, separated, and even undiscovered. We go into the darkness, down into the roots, to excavate the minerals of our experiences, because that is where we are made diamonds. A dear friend and colleague of mine says, you have to go to the roots to rise. Our bodies remember everything in their DNA, and every human body has a story. Some of what we carry in our cellular memory is passed down from our ancestors. In my healing journey, I came to realize that I carried within me some of my mother's trauma, my grandmother's and great-grandmother's, and so on and so on. History repeats itself until someone breaks the pattern. The privilege and the gift to heal wasn't necessarily available then the way it is today. I hope that through my healing journey, that I contribute to the healing of my family lineage and to be a source of transformation in the world as well. Through embodiment, we go into ourselves to release the energy that keeps us frozen and stuck. Through the process, it's possible to cultivate forgiveness, deep self-love, freedom, and confidence, thereby being able to connect with joy and pleasure whenever we choose to. Embodiment is a self-administered technique that invites you into the practice of conscious breathing, calming the mind, connecting with your body and energy, healing old trauma, and releasing from the pain body through free flow movement. That was almost a tongue twister. It's possible to tap into our body's wisdom in a way that empowers us and roots us into conscious connection with self. We begin to create new energetic pathways in our body, which expands our capacity to express ourselves with full emotionality. For thousands of years, shamans and healers have used ecstatic dance to enhance the frequencies of music or drumming, to be in connection and commune with the divine source, and to acquire information and guidance. Whenever I do this, I feel my heart open, my chakras align, my kundalini rise, and my creative self-expression is activated. I'm connected to the earth and grounded in my being. I'm connected to my higher self, my intuition and divine source. I am connected to my passion and purpose. It all begins with breathing. It all begins with breathing with attention as it brings us consciously into our bodies. We are coming back to life and beginning to trust being in our bodies again. And I'll end with this. This is a healing journey that I now guide others through. I have shared some of my stories, the stories of my pain and disease, which I didn't get too deep into that because I want you to experience the results. So these are some of the ways how it showed up in my relationship with myself and others, as well as the results that were created within me. And if you feel called to exploring healing through somatic dance, then I encourage you to step into that commitment to yourself now, because life is now. as we return to our own essence and become our own sanctuary, we remember that we are divine and we are powerful creators. We get to manifest our dreams and desires with pleasure and limitless possibilities from that sacred place of knowing within. And we are the magnificent treasures that prevail. So in essence, just to reflect what's already been shared by beautiful Lindsay Lee or beautiful Anne, these are stories of the Phoenix rising. So thank you for letting me share a piece of mine.
Thank you, Michele. Beautiful, beautiful story. Thank you. Yay. Okay. We are moving through these beautiful opportunities, and I've got us another recording. I'm going to set us up for going into the heart chakra with Dr. Jennifer Markham, and her Be in Tune. So let's see here. Let's make you big, 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 big. Why you doing? Go and yes.
Hello. Dr. Jennifer Markham here. And I've had the privilege of writing in this beautiful anthology, Sacred Connection. And my chapter is represented by the heart chakra. Be in Tune is my title. And I would dive right into the beginning of the chapter, but I think that story is best left to another moment when you yourself are reading through the chapter. But it's an exciting story about how Anne and I discussed the theme that was best for me. And I'm thrilled, needless to say, that it ended up being vibration, frequency, energy. So I'm a naturopathic doctor. I've been in private practice for 7 years. I have a great passion for truth and freedom. And I believe that we are all messengers, and whether we're aware of it or not, and that when we heal the body, the mind, the heart, the spirit, the energetic body, the entire being into wholeness, which is really a remembrance of who we truly are, the soul self, then there is great abundance of love and joy and bliss. And I desire that all beings be free and yet with loving unattachment. So I share in this chapter about my own experience, my passion, as it were, through music and through nature and spirit and my curiosity about life, how I came about studying physics and music therapy and naturopathic medicine and also photography and other things, because of this internal sense of knowing that everything is energy, everything is frequency, everything starts at that place of vibration. And I love that. I love that because this sense of time is, well, it is related to our heartbeat, right? Without our heartbeat or without time, how would we have, song, maybe? How would we have, I can't think of the words right now. How would we have the rhythm for music, right? Rhythm, that's a good word. And so there's a sense about time, and yet same time is somewhat of an illusion. It is not so important. It is much more about perception than reality, as is most of reality. And I love diving into this. in hopefully more most exciting way in the chapter, sharing about a few individuals who specifically used cameras to photograph, whether it be cells in France by Fabian, or whether it be snowflakes or water that crystallized into snowflakes in Japan by Emoto, the hidden messages in water. And what these examples are showing is how vibration, sound, intention, chords, harmony, harmonics affect itself, affect water, affect us. One thing that really stands out to me with the experiments related to the snowflakes that I touched on briefly in the chapter was actually when we're using pure water and beautiful healing music and loving and encouraging words create these unique, individual, gorgeous snowflakes, each unique. I said that, yeah. And yet, if one was ignored or it was toxic or it was shown hurtful and hateful words, or it came from a toxic place or was played really dissonant or loud, angry music, they did not form normal snowflakes at all. The water would be warped or distorted or what have you. And it goes to show the negative effects, which we can just naturally feel. It's not really an argument, negative energy, positive energy, and how that actually does change for us the more embodied we become. Speaking of embodied, I also have a podcast that I recently launched, my dear friend Sailor Shiny Star. It's called Your Quantum Embodiment. And if it wasn't for sacred connection and these last few years of connecting with Anne and in this broader community, and especially in the last year in sacred connection, I don't know if I would have, I am where I am now, but I'm grateful and I believe that it's all plays a part in the harmony and song of my life. And I actually went through my own serious illnesses at a very young age, so much so that I had several very close calls of whether, the doctors thinking whether or not I would make it. And so I have had this journey that has been this dance between life and death. And while I don't speak about it that much in this chapter, I do speak about my passion and joy for life. And I hope that that's expressed. And I believe that when we are on a healing journey, we are really remembering who we are, which is a release of the lies that are not true and things that ultimately have been taken on as a belief, but not as the truth. And in my experience, rewriting and choosing from a loving place what it is that we truly do believe and who we are is one of the most sure ways to be free from dis-ease. And so on to resonance and frequency and vibration, and I love to sing and dance and play. And I actually even wrote in the chapter about one of my favorite songs. Give you a little sneak peek. It's Everything Is Music by Tubby Love. I will not sing here today, although that's not beyond me. I mean, I'd be willing to do it, but listen, I'm going to go into this. All right. Another place, another time. So here we go. Put it another way, life is not what you believe it to be. It is exactly what you believe it to be. What do you believe then? It is most definitely a choice, although initially the subconscious is programmed before the age of 6 what to believe and what is the said truth. This can be undone and cleared through awareness, yes, but in my experience, also through the desire for truth and freedom. And I love supporting and witnessing individuals experience revelations of truth and freedom within themselves. Someone very wise and whole was to have said, "The truth shall set you free." So it does. So it does, Victor. And free we are, free as we came. And it may not seem that way in each moment. This is a resonant truth. The truth will set you free. So it does. We are free. Reminds me of another song. Hence why I've written this chapter on vibration resonance and have this background in music. I love it. I am passionate about bringing communities together. Honestly, for food, for dance, for play, yes, for education, healing modalities. I love to use gemstone therapeutics, salts, clays, things of the earth, oils, things naturally resonate with our bodies, which is individual and unique from time to time, and different foods, pure water, living water, intentional, beautiful, and bringing people together, for an opportunity of harmony. And this is what we've done here in Sacred Connection. I'm so grateful. And love you all. Blessings.
Awesome, Dr. Jennifer Markham. I had to tell you, I didn't watch any of these pre-recorded things, so I was live with you all, laughing along with her. I thought she might sing, but maybe she'll show up here today anyway and sing. So yay, we're cruising right along here. And now we get to move into the throat chakra. And Maurine is going to bring her magic of transformation in her voice. Come on in, Maurine.
Thank you so much, Anne. And thank each one of you that are here today. My name is Maurine Xavier. And it's no accident that I ended up in the throat chakra. The process of being invited in to write a story, and the process of being in community where we are all story writers, and the process of having deadlines for when stories need to be completed, and the permission of me to give myself space to be who I am and unfold has been the journey. My chapter's name is Breaking Open. And I literally feel like I am breaking open, even being here with you today. At the very beginning of when Anne started the meeting, I felt my throat chakra start to close down. It's like the process of even knowing my story and the process of telling my story is the journey that this is for me. My stand is that I am love, and that's it. And I'm going to be with that as I say it, because I don't want to rush beyond that. It's taken me over 5 years to have enough courage to speak out loud what is true for me, and to be courageous enough to tell the story that I have told in the book. And I imagine that there's a thread of what I am going through, even in this moment, with you as you read my story, and maybe as you read the other stories. My story is a journey that started way before this life. It started at creation. And this is actually what I'm saying right now is coming through me. I didn't rehearse anything. God's talking through me right now. God's holding me in my nervousness, and God's holding me in my parenting that I went through and that I still do for myself. And God's holding me in my vulnerability and my courage to stand up and cry and be afraid and be nervous and not know what I'm going to say and do it anyway. And that's what my journey is. And that's what my story is about. And that's what it invites you into as you are with me now, and with me in the story. And now I'm going to start reading. Again, not knowing exactly what I was going to read and allowing myself to be guided. I am going to start at the breaking down part of my story. I had my first turning point in 1996. I was 33 and 10 months into being a stay-at-home mom. I had retired myself from a high-profile, exciting, and well-paying job as a division controller and a director of wholesale operations for Esprit Decor. Esprit was the Taylor Swift of junior clothing in the 1980s. Embodiment. I'm noticing, okay, I'm not in my body, so I'm taking a breath to return to being in my body instead of being all out there. Thank you for 2 embodiment coaches to be here and maybe reminding me to do that. I left my career because I had an intuition that I was going to get fired if I didn't leave. I was burnt out from burning the candle at both ends, and I was lucky enough to become a stay-at-home mom when my son was 20 months old. And what is here right now is I am being called to take me and the women whoever is here today through a guided journey of what it's really like to live in my body and to suffer like I did. I was a nervous wreck. I wanted to be in control. That's all I wanted. I was control itself. I had to be in control all the time, 24/7. And I didn't know any of this at the time. I was control itself, and I'm still trying to control myself in this very moment. This is me continuing to break open. This is me continuing to be on the journey, and this is me allowing myself to not know before I show up and do it anyway. That is what this story is for me, and that is this life. Transformation itself isn't about getting anywhere. It's not about knowing anything. It's not about leading anyone anywhere. It's leaving me as who I am. And that is my invitation to you, both through my presence and my being and my purpose in the world. I'm willing to be vulnerable and courageous because that's part of my own, what I've covered up all this time. And my desire for control was to cover up how deep my knowing is and how deeply I know what wants to happen. It takes a lot of courage to be me and to witness how powerfully how intuitive I am and how courageous I can be. And that's what this story is. It's an invitation for you to be courageous, for you to be your own star, for you to be your own warrior, and for you to not know what's going to happen and do it anyway. That is my life, and that is my sweet spot. Like my ability to show up and be like this is why I'm even here today. I can't tell you how many things my ego has said no to, and I've hung in there. even the finishing this story, like this story that you read was written last weekend. I wrote 50,000 words because I was willing to continue to show up and connect to my heart. And my soul asked me to write this story. My soul said, I want you to write a story. And Anne invited me in the summertime, and I just moved from the Bay Area to Central California, and I didn't have space to even think about writing it until the end of August. And from the end of August until Thursday, this has been a journey of trust and showing up and not knowing and breaking open and feeling really deep feelings and being the teacher at one point. I wrote a whole journal of teacher mode, being in Maurine, the breakthrough mentor, breakthrough guide mode. It's like, no, my soul would not let me off the hook. No, this is about you connecting with your heart, connecting with your inner child, discovering things about you that you don't even know. So much of what I wrote in this chapter, I did not even know until I wrote this chapter. So it's a living invitation to you that could be threatening to your ego, that could be startling, that could be off-putting, that could be way too much in your head. As I read it, I've read this thing, I don't know, 10, 12 times. It triggers me. I start checking out as I read it. It's intimidating to me, some of the ways I talk and some of the things I've said, and the way, and how deep and real I am about my child and my breaking through and my being suicidal and now talking about transformation. So, yeah, I know Anne had talked to us about reading a part of my chapter, and I'm being right here now in the moment with the part of the chapter that would be helpful to read. Getting it's at the very end. It was 2015, 4 years into being Dr. David's student. I had one foot on the dock, holding on tight to the control I found in story and holding on tight to ego as me. I'm going to say that again. Holding on tight to ego as me. And that still shows up in my life right now, right here. That's not in the book, though. I had the other foot on the boat, representing faith in the eternal now. Faith in me as love, and faith in Creator as my source. And I'm going to say that one again, too. Faith in Creator in me as source. That's tricky for me. I still get pretty wrapped up in my ego. I still have a whole lot of faith in my mind and the ego self. And that is what this story is about. Breaking open, discovering what you don't know, discovering what you're disconnected from and to, and discovering the true you. I lived with one foot on the dock and one foot on the boat for 19 months. And that's all I'm going to say. I don't really think that reading more of my story is what this is about right here and now. I think it's about being present with me and you and my courage and your witnessing and inviting you into the life that I am living and what I am offering here, which is living transformation. It's being courageous enough to be your own witness and to be your own hero without having to be the hero. Because that's part of my story about my life as the savior, that I was the savior. I've been the savior a lot. And it's about breaking open what you don't know that you don't know, and being courageous enough to act on what you do know.
so that you could follow your heart, allow your spirit to work through you, be creation, be love, and be who you truly are. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for sacred witnessing, and thank you for participating in this journey with me. I'm done.
Thank you. Thank you, Maurine, for your heart always, always. All of us have big heart and big vulnerability, and we are so willing and courageous to be able to share as you did, Maurine. I love you. Thank you, honey. Okay, now we're moving into the third eye with intuition, and our beautiful Brenda Balding is going to bring her voice in.
Thank you, Anne. Thank you, Michele and Maurine and all of the other authors, Lil, Anne. Tears are part of my journey too. And I didn't know that intuition was going to be my chakra until last week. And I realized that this whole chapter was written with intuition from the divine, because I didn't know what I was going to write. I just knew that it needed to be called Sacred Discovery. I found a quote that just spoke to me all the way down to my toes, and then I just started writing. I hadn't met Anne until August. I was in the 4th gathering, and now I'm in the 5th gathering of Sacred Connection. And she said, would you like to write I told her I'd written a book that came out a year ago this month on Discovery is Recovery. And so she asked if I wanted to write a chapter on on Discovery and do a talk. So I did. Didn't know what I was doing, didn't know what was going to end up on the page. And Lil has been an absolute gift. Learning. It's been a journey. There are some things that I'd like to read in this chapter that I called Sacred Discovery. The quote that I used, that I found and has stayed with me, is, one doesn't discover new lands without consenting to lose sight of the shore for a very long time. And that's by Andre Gide. And it truly is about letting go. And it truly is about discovering what's next and being open and willing to do that. So I'd like to read the beginning, kind of what I call the intro. It's not identified as that, but that's how I see it. And I was encouraged to develop the chapter in stops of my life. And then I'll read some reflections on 3 of the stops along the way. Curiosity, notice, willingness, wonder, honesty are all words and feelings that I believe and incorporate in each day to the best of my ability. It's about ongoing discovery of Brenda, who I am, how I respond in given situations, whether or not I want to respond in that way, all in support of how I want to show up in the world from an authentic heart of love. The more I am willing to let go of what I think I know, the more new shores in me and others I experience. The only way for me is to walk in an attitude of honest discovery and to be of service for my good, our good, and the highest good of all. Who is Brenda? And from where did she come? I was blessed to be raised in the Pacific Northwest, eldest of 7 in a good Catholic home, and I finished college in a Catholic university where I studied nursing. I had a deep feeling that something was missing in my life and did not know what it was. Growing up as a kinesthetic in a family where hugs and physical caresses of affection were not given because they didn't know how, led to different forms of soothing for me. My parents did not know how to show affection in a physical way. They showed their love for us by making sure we were safe, had enough to eat, got a good education, and enjoyed family interactions with cousins, grandparents, and music. Food and isolating myself with fantasy books became my source of soothing. It didn't help that sweets were given when we got hurt and when I was in the hospital for various surgeries during my childhood. The discovery of a divine loving energy that could soothe me more deeply than food was mind-blowing. It came into my consciousness when I was introduced to and worked a 12-step program related to food. The 12-step spiritual principles are how I live my life each day to the best of my ability. More on that later. Lack of self-worth, fear, and acknowledged core beliefs all play a part in my sacred discovery journey. I went searching for what was missing. Food, self-worth, and core beliefs got in the way. And then I started talking about the various stops in my life. And I'd like to read the reflections for stop 3. My discovery over time is that food, especially carbs, put me to sleep so I don't have to feel. Talk about going unconscious. Making good choices from this place is iffy at best. When I share this experience with others who are dealing with food issues, they are surprised that they are not alone. I also discovered that an experience that touches my heart and stays with me for life, like my experience with the Aurora Borealis, can be tapped into to connect with the divine anytime that I need it, and anytime that any of us need to be soothed, because the divine is there to soothe us 24/7, whether we're connected or not consciously. Stop 7 reflection. There are many blessings to be appreciated when I take the time to notice. Taking a conscious, mindful breath slows me down, is a pause in the day, and brings me to the now. Now is where I can best connect with my body and with the divine, a gift of choice. And then I want to read one more. It's stop 11. Travel stimulates my brain and calms my food addiction. Retirement is a blessing if I walk in creativity and with the divine. Self-discovery, ongoing self-awareness, and photography continue to walk with me through retirement. Retirement is not about retiring from life. You know, a lot of us think, oh, what am I going to do now? It's about changing my focus to living the most fulfilled life I can for the rest of it. There's so much yet to discover. Willingness to travel unseen shores is the adventure of life. My dream now, in my mid-70s, years young, is to work with compassion, intuition, divine intuition, with women who've also struggled with food, body image, and finding themselves getting lost in the ego, like one of my sisters shared. You know, for me, it's big ego and little ego. Big ego is edging God out or edging the divine out. Little ego is Brenda in choice and Brenda in now. And, you know, it truly is about taking care of me so that I can be there for others and be there for the world. Life is a mystery, and we can embrace it, or I can let it drive the bus. You know, I'd like myself and the divine as a team to drive the bus. And I'd like to help other people to do that too. So I join groups like this. I write, I draw, I sing, I paint, all different ways that I can bring the divine in. Thank you all for being here. And with that, I will let Anne take over.
Thank you, Brenda, always for your tears and your heart and your big ego, little ego. So much wisdom, so much wisdom. Have you noticed all the threads, everyone? How similar these are? Because we're all coming from the same place, the same heart, the same passion, and the same approach that we believe in this sacred connection with self and the divine. And we have one final chapter. She's not here present. She actually is in Australia. So it's way early in the morning for her. So I am going to bring in now from the crown chakra with presence, Alicia Power.
Hi, Anne. Hello, everyone. My name's Alicia Power, and I am one of the contributors to this beautiful book, Sacred Connections, and it's my huge privilege to be invited to be part of it. I had so much fun writing my chapter, talking about my journey from childhood all the way to my spiritual journey, how I began to unfold and develop my spiritual awareness, my spiritual hunger, and how I started to learn how to talk to the worlds of spirit, actually, and began a very long journey. I've been a professional spirit communicator and an energy healer now for over 30 years. And so my chapter is all about that journey, my realizations, who I met along the way, the learnings I had in the middle of deep energy healings, how my spirit guides have healed me, how they've helped me, so many different things. So this chapter really, it was quite a sort of revelation for me as I was writing it. I could feel my spirit guides writing it through me. And just the way that the words were coming out and the remembering of moments of my life, those 30 plus years ago and even 40 years ago, where that hunger came from for spiritual development and connection with the divine, and how that developed into my being a spirit communicator who supports people connect with their own spirit guides and develop their own spiritual maturity. But one of my main passions is the worlds of spirit and dialoguing two-way with the worlds of spirit. For me, that is the number one skill and capability that I think we as souls, you could say, need in this lifetime, because we need a little bit of feedback, we need help, we need support, we need teaching to grow in our maturity as a spiritual being. So that's been the focus of my life, passing on knowledge directly from the worlds of spirit as a channel, and supporting audiences, supporting groups of people to become, it will grow, I guess, in their maturity, as in their spirituality, direct information, direct teaching from the world of spirit. And that's why it's exciting for me. Originally, I was trained as a journalist. And when I first connected with the world of spirit, for me, that was very exciting because I wanted to grill them. I wanted to interview them. I wanted to know what they knew. I wanted to understand me and the world and how reality works. But also I wanted to understand who they were. So I started to interview them and talk to them. And I actually got very tired for the first 2 years when I began to have these two-way clear conversations with the worlds of spirit, because my brain got tired because I just couldn't stop asking them questions. Anyway, that was a while ago. That was like 30 plus years ago. So I just wanted to say thank you, Anne, for inviting me in this compilation of this beautiful book. And I encourage everyone right now, there's an opportunity in this launch to get a free copy, free download of the ebook, and read everybody's stories of these wonderful women, these thought leaders, definitely leaders in their souls and their hearts. Each of the women here in this book have got so much power. There's something that I just love when I have met these women. I can just see it just pours off them. They've moved through their learning curves and now they want to pass on their compassion, their knowledge to others. And that's what we are all about. We're just helping everybody else up with the journey that we've taken and the journey that we describe in this book. So yeah, so thank you, Anne, for having me, and everyone get on and grab this beautiful ebook. And as you read, you will learn. As you read, it might trigger a feeling or a memory inside of yourself, and your own awareness and understanding will develop and unfold as you read. It's very rich, it's very precious, this book. So thank you for having me. I am very excited for people to read my journey and to learn about someone who's traveled in close communication with the world of spirit now for over 30 years. That's my contribution, is my chapter. Okay, Anne has asked me to read from my chapter, and let's do that. So the chapter that my guides have chosen is called Learning from Spirit, and it's halfway through, the chapter, the section of the chapter, and it's halfway through the chapter, and it's at the point where I've already described my whole journey through learning how to talk to spirit guides and how I began to get advanced in learning how to do energy healing and talking two-way with them, and more into my advanced work. So this is beginning to describe my advanced work with my spirit guides. So the section in the chapter is called Learning from Spirit. The depth and breadth of the story of my soul, its latent skills and talents, has been gently revealed over the 3 decades since then. But what I walk with daily is a relentless knowledge that time is of the essence, and that humanity does not have too much time left to mature into stewards of our planet before various scenarios move past tipping points into high gradient learning curves for us humans. And so my healing work morphed from working with individuals to group facilitation. In these group trainings, I would meticulously allow senior advanced spirit mentors to lead us into learnings and new cosmic awareness, and also to lead us into the spirit realms, psychic healing spaces, where teams of high light spirit healing technicians would transmute soul wounds from our ancient soul history, thus strengthening the hidden corners of our deepest soul self and activating, triggering our ability to remember ourselves as beyond human, as universal souls. Each group session was unique, tailored to the souls participating, tailored to the needs of the moment. And so my work became simply following the recommendations of senior spirit mentors when they invited me to form regular groups to travel into the spirit realms with them for training and healing. Following their revelations of how the background spirit energies, above all humans, were affecting human dynamics, decision-making, and evolving and devolving realities. Following their revelations that they have an agenda to deliver as much high authority spirit light into the subtle energy fields surrounding Earth and humanity as possible at this critical time to activate change. Following their strategy of keeping my personal aura clean from interfering low spirit energies, that my own decision-making, so that on my own decision-making on a daily basis stays calm and relaxed and elevated. Following is about following them, following spirit, following their recommendation, to support many of my friends and family in the same way, so that my loved ones also remain clear and supported in their life. Following an urgent call from them to meet with them daily to assess my personal energy system so that I remain able to connect with them. Following their suggestion to teach others how to keep their own personal energy strong and clean with tools and practices. And most importantly, learning from them every day as to how the spirit worlds are interacting with humanity, and sometimes in not such complementary ways. And that leads on to a section where I talk about shadow and awakening to how to work with tools, to how to work with shadow, which is a spirit world situation. So a little tiny sentence from that is, as I watch the spirit technicians sense into the long tunnels of memory of a person's soul, they would come across fear, but a level of fear that was existential, profound, embedded into the very fabric of the soul. And around these points of soul trauma was the resonance of shadow energy. And from there on, a description of my work and my learning from the worlds of spirit, how to work with shadow energy in yourself and other people. There you go. That's my reading from a section of my chapter. Thank you, Anne. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thanks, everyone. Namaste. And I'll see you inside the book as you read. Thank you.
Oh
Hi,
my.
Anne.
Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on. Why is this still playing?
My name's Alicia Power, and
Okay, we don't need that. We need me. We need me back, fully focused here. Okay, here I am. Hello. Oh my goodness, we did it. 7 incredible chapters, little excerpts, following. Oh, I love that. We're all following, right? We're all following something. Something is causing us to be driven in this life. And that can be, we're following our heart. We're following our inner guidance. We're following the divine. Or are we following something else? And this beautiful book, I am so honored. We have been in the throes of labor and birth and prodromal labor. I worked as a birth doula for 12 years, and it can be up and down and inside and outside and twisted all around, right? Because that's life. And so the coming together, many of us started this journey in July, and quite a few of us were typing feverishly in the last week. Divine timing is everything. Lil's laughing over there. She's like, where's all the chapters? Here's the thing, everyone, beautiful ones, anyone who's here today, anyone who's watching this at any point. The reason that we're all here is because we really fucking care about all of you. We care about our own life. We look in the mirror, we say, how am I going to be the best version of myself? And we walk the world loving, hugging, and offering that. This book is a giant hug. It is a hug for your heart. It's a hug for your spirit. Yeah, we'll get there, Brenda. It's a hug for your whole beingness, because this is what is important on our planet at this time. I love your rose, Sally. This is what's important. We are here to hold each other as we hold ourselves in love, because love is everything. We have some time to expand this 2-hour session to 1:11 Mountain Time. I would love to hear any comments from anyone who's here participating, anybody who knows us on this journey. Lil, you're off mute. Are you going to bring your voice in?
Yes, just quickly, and I was going to say the same thing. If anyone has any comments or has any thoughts, Sally put a rose up. We appreciate. She said we had 34 people come today. That's wonderful. I want to remind some of you who are not in the Center of Influence community that we'd love for you to join Center of Influence Community, centerofinfluencecommunity.com. We have a wonderful book called Leading with Light, Volume 2, that is now taking participants in that. I think we have about 7 spots left in that book. And we are going to eventually be doing Sacred Connection Volume 2 at some point, and we'll talk to you about that. So if you've ever thought about writing a chapter in a book and becoming part of our community, we'd love to hear from you. Or maybe perhaps spread the word about that, or just be a member like Sally. Sally's just a member, kind of hangs out with us. Come and learn stuff and be part of what we do. I just think you guys are great. Everybody's chapters were beautiful. Everybody really said that they gave us a big piece of who they are. So I hope you will read the book. And please, 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 we have several more hours today where the book is free. It would help us immensely if you would share the link with your communities yourself. So if you have other writers, other friends, other people who are willing to read a book like this, who would benefit from something like this, please, please, please share the link. I will put the link back in again for everyone. Yes, Cassie, we are going to continue to do that. So other than that, have we questions? And if we do, I will be quiet and see if anyone has anything they'd like to ask any of our writers or anyone.
I got the link real quick. I'm going to copy and paste it, Lil. Well, for any of you that know me, I can definitely take up time and space and fill up the airwaves. So I'm happy to do that. And I would love to know also, what inspired you today in these readings? Is there something you might want to share that you will be taking home from this today as you spent a couple hours with us?
Just feel free to unmute if you want to speak or say anything or ask a question.
Hi, Sally.
I think the whole theme, well, somebody already came up with a theme, the intuition thing, I think. But I think really it's all about being yourself. Oscar Wilde is purported to have said, be yourself. Everybody else is already taken. And when I run into people that would really prefer that I do what they want or that I do what they command, it's like, well, who died and put you in charge? And we're all individuals. So be yourself. Everybody else is already taken.
Thank you for that, Sally. And you're absolutely right. I can't be anybody else but me. But it's funny that you bring that in. And I think some of us have had this journey of being somewhat of a chameleon, sort of morphing through other people's vibrations and frequencies and lifestyles. And then when we get to be fabulous and aged in the most amazing way that we are when we spend a few decades on the planet, we go, fuck that. I'm more amazing. I'm going to shine. I'm going to be my light. And the thing is, Sally, you're absolutely right. We all need to shine our light. Our light is absolutely important. And that's what Sacred Connection is all about. That's what I say in every call, in every experience. You are saying yes to you when you show up in this world, when you look in the mirror, and when you honor the journey you've been on. Thank you, Sally. I love that contribution.
It's a quiet bunch. we've worn them all out. People ask you all the time, like, if you could be anybody in the world, who would you be? And I say me every time. So I think when you can get to the point where the answer is always me, who else would I want to be? Oscar was right. He was always right. But That's very true. Everyone else is taken, and even if they weren't, you should want to be who you are. We're in a world right now that is telling everyone what to do, particularly in America. It's a thing. It's become a constant theme of being told who you should be by people who have nothing to do with you, specifically. In a group full of women, mostly men are telling women what to do in this country more than they've ever done since the 50s. Realistically, we have men specifically telling women what to do. I was making a joke that I was on an NPR thing listening to NPR one day, and 5 men were talking about women in technology. No one thought to ask a woman in technology to come on this call. And they were all talking about the experiences of women in technology. And I thought, well, there's America for you. Yeah. Melinda's got her hand up. Melinda wants to tell us something. Talk.
Hey, so I've been sort of doing my thing, feeding my sourdough starter, raking in the yard, but really beautifully being accompanied by these stories and these beautiful women, some of whom I know, some I don't, just really inspired by the truth, the raw authenticity, a made up word that Ann and I are familiar with. And but it really does speak to what's afoot here in each of your stories and what you put into this book, which is clearly your soul and your heart. And I've just really enjoyed it. I thought I was going to be working with my bees, and that didn't happen. So I was able to kind of stay with this to the end, and it's really enhanced my Saturday here in Maine. So thank you, and blessings on the success of this book. Lots of love.
Thank you, Melinda. Yes, I've been so graced by the communities that I've been surrounded by to come in as co-hosts and co-authors and participants in the Sacred Connection community. And this is the place, Linda, I'm going to go to you right next. This is the place where we get to honor that we are important. We are important on this planet. And if we're here and we're looking in the mirror, then we have something to give. Linda, what you got, love? You going to share something fabulous words?
I just wanted to thank everybody for their beautiful shares, and I could definitely resonate with everything that was shared here today. I've been painting while I've been listening, so it's been very encouraging, and I love incorporating my creativity while listening to all your beautiful shares. So I really look forward to reading the book, and with that, I'm complete.
Thank you, Linda.
You know, I'm going to come in. So to me, the thread that runs through all of this, and oh, wait, congratulations, everybody. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you for bringing me into this container. But the thread that runs through all of this is really about shedding what social constraints and norms put on us, and really coming into the core of who we are. If we are spiritual beings having a human experience, then we all have the light, the gift, our unique way of expressing God to come into the world. And each one of you spoke into what is your God self and how you were able to navigate through all the stuff of social expectation, shed that and be your most authentic and beautiful self. And by speaking into it, you empower everyone else to do the same. So much gratitude.
Thank you, Gwendolyn. Yay. Anyone else?
Yeah, I'd love to go. I'm Michele, invited by my dear Brenda. So I of course appreciate her, but happy to hear from all of you as well. What a beautiful journey. I love how it was all connected with the chakras, and how, you know, each author had could plant a little seed, you know, of their story. I'm excited to read it and to learn more about everybody. So that was really beautiful. And I loved being on at 11:11 on 11:11, and that's right as the doctor began to speak as well, which was just so beautiful. I had a dream last night. I've been connecting through centering prayer, just with the sense of God as my beloved and being in the beloved at all times, that the world is a creation of the beloved. And I live in the forest, and so I've been walking and seeing the different depths of the trees on the hillsides, farther back and in the middle and close to me and on the other side of me, and literally feeling my presence walking through with, right, the energy in the forest. And so I had that experience pretty profoundly yesterday. And then last night I had a dream where I was in my dream out of my body and was with God in the spirit realm. And as I woke up, I had a really difficult time coming back into my body. So it was a bit startling. But at the same time, I know that it actually happened, that all these things are connected. And then to come sit in here and to hear all about the different parts of my body and my spirit and myself, and how we all can experience that together, and how you are all bringing that message to people is really beautiful. So again, thank you for the link, my dear Brenda. And it's so lovely to meet you all. Blessings.
Thank you for that, Michele. That was beautifully spoken. We need you in this community. Brenda, let's invite her in. So that comes into, what is this community? This is a community of people that are doing the work of remembering that they're loved. They're recognizing that the way of the world doesn't feel authentic, doesn't feel in alignment. And we're all waking up. So this is a place, this book, this community, each one of the 7 of us have a business, have an offering, have an expression in this world that is about helping, supporting, guiding us to find ourselves again, to remember that we are love, that we are the divine. We all know the entire world out there can give us the perspective. I love that you brought in perspective, Michele, the layers, right? The depth, the vibrations, it's all there. Out of mind, out of sight. I twisted that one the other day. I was like, hey, that's not right. I just said it wrong. And I'm like, oh, no, that is the way. Out of mind, out of sight. What we have in our mind is what we're going to witness. And what we're doing by offering this book to the world is offering beautiful ideas and energies that are going to continue to co-create more greatness, more amazing versions of people, more clarity, more alignment, more love. It's easy peasy. Okay, this is so exciting. I want to push this to 1:11. So we got 7 more minutes. Who else wants to share something? We have some beautiful souls who've been here for the whole 2 hours and I don't know you. Would anyone else like to chime in? We like to talk in this space. Lil, do you have any last words?
Oh my God, last words. Am I going somewhere?
Yeah, I'm going to kick you out.
Dearly beloved, we're gathered here.
How's the sale of the book going, Lil?
Oh, I don't know. I have been with you guys. I haven't even looked, but I'm sure it'll be fine. We will have a lot of people take notice. I've been slipping in and out over to Facebook to try to remind our authors and our friends and the many authors that we have in our groups and our different genres of writing. But we'll be keeping on it all day. I have to go downtown, and my dear friend passed away this year. My guitar player, her name was Wendy Barmore, and was the whole town literally stopped on a dime because no one believed it, that this powerhouse, amazing human being suddenly ceased to be, was beyond all of our thinking. And we have an event tonight downtown. It's a blues event, and a tribute band is playing for her, and a bunch of us are going to go and support people, about that, and just remind everybody that we lost one of the greatest people that ever walked the face of the earth. So when I leave here, I'll be Ubering downtown. So yeah, but I don't know. This is great. If any of our authors have anything else they want to contribute, please feel free to speak up. We have about 6 more minutes, I think, and to cover your getting to 311. I love the 1111 thing. It's really neat. And I'm really pleased that we had such a great turnout, that so many people came, and I'm sure we'll also have it on a place where people can watch
Yes,
it
it's
later.
going to be on YouTube. It's also on my channel, and I'll put that in the link on Facebook. So that'll be shared. It's on the Sacred Connection Community portal space as well, a Patreon group. It'll live there. And the book is going to live in Amazon until it starts living in your heart and in your hands and in your homes very soon here. We do expect a physical book in our presence in about a month.
That's true.
For now, though, go ahead.
I forgot to mention the Center of Influence community, the Center of Influence podcast will be starting soon. We're taking some of our authors. If any of you are authors or members on here right now, please check in with me. My email address. We will be Jess Rydell, my junior partner in the company, and I will be interviewing authors from the different groups that we've created, starting with Center of Influence people and going on to my own authors. GWN Publishing tends to publish somewhere around 4 or 5 books a month. So obviously we have a lot of authors who would love to come on the podcast. We're going to be doing a couple of authors every other Wednesday. We're going to meet and interview you guys, and we'll be putting it out into the world. So it's another sacred connection opportunity. If you're a writer, please make sure that you sign up for a time slot with us. And those of you who are not authors and aren't on the podcast, I hope you'll listen to the podcast. We're going to be getting to know our authors in a more personal way and learn things about them. So that should be a lot of fun. We're looking forward to interviewing bunches of writers. So that should be a really good time for us.
Yeah, thank you, Lil. And I believe also we've got some TED Talks, some Center of Influence community TED Talks down the pike too. So
we are working on that. We're steadfastly working on next spring, trying to pull together a Center of Influence TED Talk, and that should be really interesting.
I'm very, very grateful to be a part of this community, this Center of Influence community. Our vision is very aligned for how we want to hold the planet and share our message. So thank you, Lil, for everything.
I have a community called the Love Train. We meet once a month on Zoom, and it is free. It is my gift. And it does a lot of what Alicia talked about in her presentation. The community cauldron comes together, where we are as individuals and the community and the collective. I am a divine channel, and I have a team of guides that work through me. And our collective cauldron is a pretty phenomenal space for us to connect more deeply with ourselves and help us wake up. So if anyone here would like to have...
Go ahead and put it in the chat.
Okay.
Maurine, put it in the chat. Yep. So it'll be there, and then we can add it to the YouTube video. Michele, you want to add something? Thank you, Maurine.
Yes, I just want to graciously thank everybody who tuned in today. It's such an honor to be on this path with my fellow beloved co-authors, to be a part of this publication, as well as the Center of Influence community. Each one of us just shared a little slice of mango from each of our stories. And so I really hope that you get this free offer, that you get a, nice cup of tea or whatever makes you cozy, and drop in and enjoy the ride. And all of us have a way to reach out to us. So reach out, don't be shy. We all have a link, a website in there, and we want to connect with you. We want to open the dialogue and take this even further. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for being here. It is a privilege.
Thank you for that, Michele. Yes, every one of us is here to help and support. We live for providing guidance and helping others to come into the light, their greatest light.
And you got a minute, take us home.
I know, I got a minute. But here's the thing, we're going to do our signature close that Sacred Connection brings in every week. So here's the guidance, everybody. Put your pens down, put your water down, and put your arms up. Put them up. Reach to the sky and grab around and grab a hold of those shoulders and hold those arms and hug that beautiful being, the physical body, the emotional body, the spiritual body, and look at us hugging each other in community. This is what Sacred Connection is all about. It's about the love for self, the love for divine, and for witnessing that in the mirror. And it's 1:11 Mountain Time. I love you, beautiful, amazing beings. We did it. 2 hours of amazing Sacred Connection. We'll see you in the book. We'll see you in the land of Sacred Connection, and we'll see you in your greatest version of love. Love is everything. Have an amazing rest of your Saturday, beautiful ones. 11:11.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Much love.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank
Much
you.
love.
Right. I'm going to say goodbye.